Nigeria has recorded over $200 million in financial services technology in the last 2 years. This was disclosed at the 2016 FinTech Summit organized by KPMG, a global network of professional firms providing audit, tax, and advisory services. The partner and head Financial Services Technology KPMG in Nigeria, Boye Ademola, said embracing fintech in Nigeria had the capacity to redefine the financial services landscape over the next 5 years. Boye Ademola also noted that Nigeria, Egypt, and South Africa were among the top recipients of fintech in Africa, and that Chinese fintech Lu.com and JD Finance raised $1.2 billion and $1 billion respectively in record Asia deals in the first quarter of 2016. Also speaking at the event was the KPMG Global FinTech co-lead, Warren Mead. He said that technology is an unstoppable force that does not have respect for national boundary or regulations, but only responds to customers' needs. Rwanda has been lauded for its efforts to promote cross-border trade during the opening of a 2-day Enhanced Integrated Framework ERF board meeting in Kigali yesterday. The meeting also combined with a workshop on cross-border trade to consolidate key policies and strategies with a focus on promoting broad-based economic growth, employment creation, trade development, and poverty reduction in least developed countries, LDCs. The workshop brought together high-level government officials as well as representatives of ERF and other partners involved in the implementation of the National Cross-Border Trade Strategy in Rwanda. The ERF is the only aid for trade program exclusively designed for least developed countries to sustainable development goals directly referenced to Target 8.A. ERF Executive Director Global Ratnaka Adhikari. He said the partnership has supported 142 projects in least developed countries, equivalent to over $200 million in the past 7 years, as it has enhanced their income, knowledge, expertise, entrepreneurship abilities, among other opportunities. According to Adhikari, ERF has donated $3 million for construction of cross-border markets in Karongi District and a Siyanika market in Burera District along the Uganda border. LCD's group coordinator, Eloy Laurau, hosting the meeting in Rwanda was very important given the remarkable progress that the country has registered over the years. As he urged the governments to ease the policy and legislative environment and not only to help the LDCs to boost their trade, but also to attract local and foreign investors. The Minister for Trade, Industry and EAC Affairs, Franco Kanimba, said the cross-border trade generated $300 million for this year from both formal and informal trade. The oil cartel OPEC President Mohammed bin Saleh Al Sadar has agreed its first supply cut in 8 years to be 1.2 million barrels a day in order to boost the price of oil from January. The price of Brent crude jumped 10% to $51.94 a barrel, and U.S. crude rose 9% to $49.53 after more than 2 years of depressed oil prices due to a supply glut in the market. Mr. Al-Sadar said non-OPEC countries will be expected to reduce production by 600,000 barrels a day, in addition to the production cut by OPEC members. Al-Sadar said Russia is prepared to cut 300,000 barrels from its output of more than 10 million barrels a day. The deal comes after oil ministers agreed to cut in principle in September, which would have limited output by about 700,000 barrels a day, while allowing Iran to increase production. Both the disagreements between the world's biggest oil producer, Saudi Arabia, and Iran has led to doubts the agreement would be secured. At Wednesday's meeting, Saudi Arabia agreed to cut output by about 500,000 barrels per day, which is a total reduction of about 4.5%, to take its output to 10.06 million barrels per day. The president said the agreement came from a sense of responsibility from OPEC member countries and non-OPEC member countries for the general well-being and health of the world economy.